Welcome to another piece of Top Choice Movies recap. Today's film was released in 2022. The title is Deep Water. Lovely people, kindly subscribe, and don't forget to like, comment and share. Watch out for spoilers. The movie begins with a man, whose name is Vic. After riding a bicycle, he arrives back home. His wife Melinda is sitting right outside the house and looks at him with great wonder. In the next scene, we see that they have a young daughter whose name is Trixie. She is listening to her favorite song, to which her mother shouts at her annoyingly. The man goes into the room, where his wife asks him to choose a dress for her. Later on, his wife asks him to grab her black shoes for her, which he does happily. So basically this man obeys whatever his wife orders. They attended a party, where he and his wife talk to their friends and drink some beer. Melinda sees her old friend Joe and starts to engage with him, which is seen by her husband Vic. It did not take too long for Melinda to take his friend into private space and start to kiss him. Vic knows what is going on. Even though they catch each other's eyes, it does not stop Melinda from enjoying her fantasies. When this was not enough, Melinda started to dance on top of a piano to grab everyone's attention. Right after, she starts to play the piano and makes everyone happy. Regardless of her bizarre acts, Vic smiles at her as if nothing has happened. Later that night, Joe talks to Vic and thanks him for letting him see his wife Melinda. Vic tells him to recall a man called Martin McRae, who recently went missing. Vic suggests to him that he is the one who made him disappear. Joe thinks it is a joke, but Vic assures him the obvious if he keeps making the same mistake. Joe leaves the premises right after. Meanwhile, Vic's wife Melinda does not appreciate his actions towards her friend. Later at night, while Vic was talking to their babysitter, Melinda arrives at the kitchen without any shirt on. Vic does not like this and tries to shoo her away. This defiantly annoys Melinda, and she goes away. We get to know lots of things about Melinda's character. She is a careless and selfish woman. Vic also has a hobby of keeping snails as his pet. A couple of days later Vic meets up with his friends. There he gets to know that everyone knows how he threatened Joe by telling him a Martin McRae joke. Hay also explained that Melinda is a sick woman because she does all this in front of Vic. Back at home Melinda gets to know about this as well and tells Vic to apologize to Joe. He invites him to dinner on Friday. It is Friday and Joe knocks on the door and finds Vic welcoming him. He is nervous and asks if Melinda is home, to which Vic again jokes that she isn't home. Later, Vic tells him that they will enjoy some seafood and have conversations. But he gets to know that Joe is allergic to seafood. Melinda knew this, but she did not tell this to Vic. Later at the table, Vic makes Joe a grilled cheese sandwich and Melinda also starts it as if she is trying to piss his husband off. He sends Vic to take her daughter to bed and tell her bedtime stories. After telling a bedtime story, later Vic encounters Melinda and Joe having some fun together. Later Joe expects an apology from Vic because he joked to him about killing Martin McRae. Vic replies to him that this was not a joke and calls him an Uber. One day, Vic and Melinda are sitting at a party talking to a writer. He calls him a killer and jokes about Martin McRae. Vic also dances with another woman, seeing Melinda is jealous later. Pair herself to the women. She also tries to do things with Vic while he is driving. Later while Vic and Melinda are watching their daughter play, he gets a call from his bank which was about Melinda's bank account. He gets to know that she sent $3,000 to someone who plays piano, and he starts to research this person further. She ends up to a person who is an expert pianist and extremely good-looking. Right there he also encounters Melinda flirting with him. At night Vic welcomes Melinda and asks where she was. She is looking pretty drunk. While he was driving his daughter home, he again encounters the pianist walking with flowers. Those flowers are sitting in his home the same day. He is once again concerned about his wife Melinda having an affair behind his back. He is mostly home, while his wife is working hard getting smashed by the pianist outside. Vic confronts her for her acts of not coming home for the whole night and using his money to cheat on him. No matter what he does, this woman is just purely self-conscious and does not care about his feelings. She even tells Vic that she has an amazing bedtime with the pianist. The following week, Melinda invites the pianist guy to their party, where Vic and he even shake hands. He once again finds his wife going intimate with another man. Melinda is so careless that she would do intimate things in front of his husband too. It starts to rain and everyone goes inside. They start to enjoy the party once again. The pianist is nowhere to be seen, so Melinda tries to check on him. She sees him dead inside the pool and starts to scream. Seeing this, everyone runs outside and tries to rescue him from the pool and try to revive him, but unfortunately, nothing works out. When the police start to investigate, Melinda starts to accuse his husband Vic of the murder. Ops start to question Vic for the obvious, but they did not find anything odd during their talk. They later ask Melinda if she is scared of him. She says she is not afraid because he took their life because of her. Later on, when Vic is riding his bicycle, he imagines Melinda and another guy together and also sees the flashes and him taking his life. Later on, they invite their friends to dinner. He tells his friend to stop telling people that he is a killer. He is very suspicious and from time to time he has meetings with his wife Melinda about this subject. One day Vic was walking casually, and he suddenly saw a camera in his wife's car. He sees his wife sitting with a man who calls himself a psychologist. After he reveals to the wife of his friend that he and Melinda paid a private detective to investigate him, which makes the couple shout at each other. Later on, Vic figures out that she is seeing yet another man. One day, Melinda's friend Tony meets Vic. Inside the house, Melinda arrives and hugs Tony like he is her husband. While talking, she also reveals to Vic that Tony was the first American that she slept with. Tony suddenly starts to laugh and blush about it. Seeing all this, Vic seems a bit upset. Later that evening they start to enjoy the food and play good music. They start to dance very inappropriately in front of Vic. Vic also encounters them going upstairs in his bedroom. He sees that she is doing her usual things and they catch each other's eye. In a few days, Vic tells Tony that Melinda wants to meet him and make him sit inside his Jeep. He takes him to a far place from the city. He keeps asking him questions about Melinda and his dating history. After they are out of the car, he picks up a heavy rock in his hands and throws it at him. It does not take too long for Vic to take away his life. Right after, he puts a heavy rock on his body and drowns him in the water so that no one can see him. After the incident, he comes back home happily. The next day they decide to go on a picnic in the same location where he took Tony's life. Later he accidentally sees that the body can be seen floating on top of the river. At night he gets to know that she is talking to another man called Don. She asks him to sleep in her room that night and she reveals that she loves him. The next day, he goes back to the same place to fix his mistake. Melinda discovers Tony's wallet inside Vic's workplace. Vic is trying to push Tony's body down into the water, where suddenly a guy arrives. He asks him about his actions and suddenly he sees a hand that comes out of the river. The old man sees this and starts to run away, while Vic is following him on his bicycle. The chase goes on for a good minute and in the end, the old man is met with an accident. Vic goes back home, and we see the same scene we saw at the beginning of the movie. In addition, Melinda is seen burning Tony's ID, suggesting that she chooses to remain with her husband, despite being aware that he is a murderer. She also chooses not to call the police. The movie offered audiences a somber perspective on what open marriages may entail. It's the ideal balance of murder, mystery, and a weird kind of love. We learned from this film that envy may lead to terrible actions, and that love can drive anyone to the verge of despair. Kindly share your thoughts about the movie in the comment section. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.